Welcome to the JVLA 2.0's screencast on how to set up a discussion forum on your Moodle course site. On this tutorial, I will walk you step by step through the process of how to create a discussion forum on your Moodle course site and what the various functions are within a discussion forum. So let's begin by looking at this sample test course. Here in my first module, I just have a list of my objectives, activities, and possible glossary items that could be in this course. I'll want to create a discussion forum in my Module 1. So what I'll do is I'll head over to the Add an Activity or Resource. Once I've made sure that my editing has been turned on in this upper right-hand corner. So I'll begin with Add an activity or resource. And it pops up this little box here, and I'll want to select Forum, which is a big blue box followed by a small green box. I'll select that and hit Add. And up pops my tool for adding a forum. So adding a new forum to Module 1. That's where I want it, so I know I'm good to go. I'll look over here on the right-hand side where it says Expand All, and I'll select that because I'm going to take a look at those different functions in just a moment. Let's begin here at the top in general with the forum name. Since this is just a sample forum, I'm just going to call this Sample Forum 1. My description, which is necessary, is simply a description of what this forum could be. And so in this case, I will just say that it's a general forum for student questions. Okay, if I wanted this description to display on my course site, then I could select this box, Display Description on Course Page. Since I don't really feel that's necessary for this specific forum, I'll just unselect that box this time around. This next box is very important because it will help determine what kind of forum you want to set up for your class. As you remember, in the first tutorial on discussion forums, we discussed 4 different types of discussion forums. The single simple discussion, which is where you post a simple discussion and students can reply to it, but not create their own discussion. The each person posts one discussion, where you can give directions for what you want students to post. They can each post one discussion and then reply to others' posts. A Q&A forum, where you post a question and students are not able to view other students' answers until they respond first. And the standard forum for general use. That's the kind of forum that we're going to create right now, since it's a general forum for general questions. So I'll leave it as standard forum for general use. As I move down the blocks, you can see here the next area is for attachments and word count. If I wanted to allow students or ask students to add attachments such as documents, files, PDFs, links, etc., then I could set my maximum attachment size file. The maximum size is 8 megabytes. I'll leave it at 500 right now. Maximum number of attachments, I feel that 9 is a big number, so I'll leave it to 2, but that's your choice. I won't need them to display a word count within the file. Something for attaching documents might be good if it's a Q&A and you want them to support their answers, or if they're each supposed to post one discussion and you want files to be posted, etc. So that's what it might be good for there. As we move along, subscription and tracking. Subscription is a way for you and your students in your class to know when others have posted to the discussion forum. So optional is they can decide if they want to be subscribed to this forum. Forced is where you force all students enrolled in your class to receive email updates that others have posted to their forum, to the forum. And so for this case, I'll have forced subscription for this general forum, just so that I know that students are receiving the updates and that they know if there's been a question or a comment posted. Retracking for this forum, that is a matter of letting you know if other students have read and accessed the information, as well as if they want to do that, we can leave it as optional to know who's read their posts, etc. Post threshold for blocking is an area where you, after you've posted the forum, after you've posted the discussion, you can decide if you want to block their posts. In other words, after 1 day, 2 days, after 1 week, not allowing them to post anymore. And also, so let's say you say 1 day threshold for blocking. So that's the number of posts that they can post before they get before they are blocked from posting anymore. And then there's a number of warnings. So 1 day, let's say that the blocking, they can't post more than 3, and then a threshold after 2. So they get a warning saying you're only allowed to post one more time in this day. Now, if you wish to grade the forum, you can choose what category you want to put it in. And since in this case, my test course has only 2 categories right now, I'm going to place it in the discussion forums category so that I know that this specific forum will be graded and it will be in the discussion forums category. Now, the way that you can grade a forum is by the aggregate type, so the ratings section. You can do average of ratings, count of ratings, maximum rating, minimum rating, or sum of ratings. And usually I am the only one that is allowed to grade my forums. You can change that if you want other students to rate forums, and then the student's grade will reflect that. But since I choose that I'm the only one that can grade it, I usually just go with maximum rating, so the maximum score that I give them. And then I can determine the scale by looking at scale, and no grade through 100 and down to 0. And usually my forum posts are, I just give it a small percentage point, 10, 15 points, maybe even less than that, depending on the type of forum. So for this case, I might just say 10 points total that I can rate them on. Common module settings, this is if you want to separate your group posts into different groups, separate your discussion forum posts into different groups. I currently don't have any groups in this class, but if you had groups created in your class, then this is the way that you could show that. No groups, separate groups, etc. And finally, restricting access simply has to do with, do you want to enable when students can access the forum and when they are not able to access the forum, and if they need to have a certain grade point average in order to access the forum. None of that is necessary since this is a general discussion forum, so I'll leave it as is, and I will save and display. So here are the groups visible. It's available to all participants. This one says it has a limit to the number of forum postings you can make in a given time period. So this is set at 3 postings in 1 day. And again, that can help you with those students that want to post 20 times in 1 day, and so you only allow them a certain amount of postings before they can post again so that it gives other students an opportunity to reply. And then here's the description that I posted, general forum for student questions, and then here is where students can add a new discussion topic. And you'll see there the subject comes up and the message, and they can add that to the forum. And so for this case, I can just say, welcome. This is a general welcome message to all participants from your teacher. Okay, and so everyone is subscribed to this forum. There's no attachments that I want to share. It's part of all participants. Could be group A or B, but in this case, all participants. And I will post to forum. And it says you have 30 minutes to edit. And then as you can see here, my discussion is been posted to this specific forum. And then if I go to my test course, you'll see my sample forum there. And that's it. That is how you can set up a very simple discussion forum in your Moodle course site.